Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? Welcome to my channel. My name is Tina. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I have some projects that I made using products from Yixuan Scrapbooking on Aliexpress. I will have a link to everything I'm going to share with you guys in the description box below. Also, if you haven't seen my unpacking video, I will link that down below as well. So for my first card, I used this stamp set. I used this hydrangea flower. And I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear any banging. Our two adult girls are moving back home, so we're building apartments for them in the basement. It's been noisy, it's been chaotic here, so just bear with me if you hear any banging. Anyway, as I said, I used this flower here. And this is the card that I made, very simple. My card base is white. I put down this purple cardstock and I cut it 1/8 of an inch smaller than my card base. I brought this strip of gold here and I just put it on the corner. And I die cutted this frame from my stash in green color. And I did a white oval so I can stamp my image directly on it. This is watercolor paper. So I did some watercoloring with metallic paint and all my lines kind of disappeared. So I took a Sharpie and I just went over them just so that it's more visible. And I brought gold paint, splattered it here and there. I put a little gold bow here and I die cutted the word hello and I just put it down here and I put purple, pink, purple and gold sequin. For my next card, I used this stamp set. I used this flower cluster. I also used the thank you as my sentiment. And then I brought this stamp set with the butterflies. I used these two butterflies. And this is an awesome stamp set. Comes with coordinating dies, hot foil plate, and the stencils to color. And this is the card that I made. I kept it really simple. My card base is white. I cut up this pattern paper 1/8 of an inch smaller. It just kind of got lost in my opinion. So I had to bring light cardstock, a light blue cardstock and put it just on the top and bottom, just to break that whiteness. I die cut it this stitch rectangle in white and I stamped my image directly on it. And when I started coloring it, because I stamped it with archival ink, it started to bleed. So to fix the problem, I stamped it on another paper and I colored them, fussy cut each one of them. It was pain in the butt. Anyway, and I stuck the flowers like that. And here I put a little piece of grass. I colored the two butterflies kind of matching with the flowers, with the pinks and the teal. Elevated the wing part. I put a light blue ribbon here and I tied the bow just to match the background. And here is the thank you and I just fussy cut around it and put a blue cardstock fussy cut around that as well. For my next card, I use this stamp set again. This time I use these two flowers, these leaves. And for my sentiment, I use Let's Celebrate You. And this is the card that I made. My card base is white. I took a white cardstock, ran it through my embossing folder. I don't know if the camera's catching the embossing on here. There is like flowers and leaves. And then I brought this brick kind of cardstock and I just put it down here, separated the two with a peachy color ribbon and I just tucked it behind. I did some jelly printing and I stamped straight on my jelly printed paper. And then I went over it again with the Sharpie because it wasn't that prominent. So I just fussy cut around it. Again, they come with coordinating dies, but I didn't want that border. So I just fussy cut around all the flowers, all the leaves. The 3 flowers, I just put them down flat, and I just tucked all the leaves flat, and the top flower, I elevated it with foam tip, and I just did some Wink Stella on it. Here is the Let's Celebrate You. Again, I fussy cut around it, and I elevated it with foam tape, and I just put some very light peach and copper color sequin. For my next card, I use this stamp set. I use this flower, this leaf. For my sentiment, I use Just Because. Also, this stamp set, along with coordinating dies, it comes with this wreath die and a couple of extra leaves and flower. So this is the card that I made. My card base, I did purple. I took a white cardstock, again 1/8 inch smaller than my card base, and I did some second generation stamping on it so I can create my own background with this stamp set. I did it in pinks and purple. I brought a silver cardstock and just put a strip here. I've been leaning towards gold lately, so I thought I should do some silver. And I die cutted this shape in vellum, stuck my 2 leaves down flat, and this flat flower, I just elevated it with foam tape. And everything I did fussy cut because the die cut up this white, it was too wide, and in between it didn't cut the white, so I just fussy cut around it because I didn't want too much white. Here are those extra leaves that I brought in silver and in metallic purple. I just tucked them behind, and I put a couple of sequin, and I stamped my Just Because sentiment down here. For my next card, I use this sunflower stamp set. I use the big sunflower, the stem, the 2 leaves, and for my sentiment, I used a little something just for you. And this is the card that I made. I love how this turned out. My card base, I did craft color. I took a white cardstock, 1/8 of an inch smaller than my card base, and I stamped my sentiment, and then I splattered it with gold paint. I brought these borders from a fall paper pad that I had, so I put the 2 brown on each side, and the middle I did this checkered, and I left a gap in between them. I watercolored my sunflower, the leaves, and the stem, and I just stuck it down flat. And I brought this stamp from my stash, the bumblebees, and I just colored them, fussy cut them, popped them here with foam tape. It turned out so cute. For my next card, I use this beautiful camera stamp set. I love all the flowers. And for my sentiment, I use Life's a Beautiful Journey. And this stamp set, if you buy the coordinating dies, it comes with a camera die as well. So you can make a camera here. And this is the card that I made. My card base, I did white. I cut up a black cardstock. This time I left 1/4 of an inch on each side. And then I matted it with this purple. It has embossing with gold. It's kind of gorgeous. But I just left less than 1/8 of an inch with the black cardstock. I just wanted very little to show. I put a strip of black this way, and with the same black I cut up a banner. I just did it myself. I didn't use any dies. I stamped and colored the camera, and I popped it with foam tape. For the flowers, I put Wink Stella, and here is that sentiment, Life's a Beautiful Journey. I stamped it with purple ink, backed it up with black, and I just fussy cut around it. Very simple, but it turned out cute. And my last card for today, I used this stamp set. Now this one is so cute. You have a barrel that you can tuck some flowers in, food, stars. Comes with this puppy, which I used. I used the puppy, the barrel, and this butterfly. And I wanted to make a fall card. So the coordinating dies also come with a barrel that you can make. Comes with these apples. So I use the apple to make my card. And this is the card that I made. My card base, I did white. I brought a couple of dies from my stash. I brought this background die and I die cut it in jelly printed paper. So before I stuck it down, I just backed it up with very light blue cardstock to mimic the sky. I brought the fence die from my stash. I put it down flat here at the bottom. And I stamped and colored, watercolored the barrel and the little puppy. I did watercoloring. And I just elevated the puppy. I put the barrel down flat and I tucked all the apples that I die cut it. And I put a couple down here as if it's fallen down. Here is that butterfly and I stamped Autumn Blessing and I just fussy cut around it and put a foam tape. So that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, have an awesome day, guys. Bye.